You really need to be it so you can really see it. Only when you shift your internal environment, that is when you're actually able to receive everything that is in alignment with that in the outer reality, right? It's important. Well done, everybody.
Well, that was huge. That was huge. And we are so lucky to have Hannah. Can I ask who had a great, well, I know you all did, but who really enjoyed that? It's so important, hey, to be in your end result, and Hannah's just so good at leading it. So yeah, powerful stuff. So Hannah's in charge of our certification and our full superconscious mastery program, which involves superconscious intuition, superconscious transformation, and superconscious creator. And yeah, that's right. She is amazing. Just quickly, who really wants to master superconscious and would who's not in the certification already, or who's open to that, or maybe wants to join mastery? Because you'll be working with Hannah and myself. So I'm just so lucky. So lucky to have you here, Hannah. You rock. Thanks for staying up uber late.
It was such a joy to be here today. And, it's all about living your true choices. And where else could I rather be than here with you guys and doing this work? I'm super grateful to be doing this. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is great. Well, I'll carry on. Love you. You know the plan. I've got lots to cover. So thanks. Thanks. It's so great to have Hannah here. Hannah could run this whole event, and will be in the future. I'm sure. Hannah, do you want me to put you back in audience, or you just want to stay there as co-host for a bit? Back to audience. Got it. Got it. And it was it's going to be so fun to have that creation. So we're doing well. We're at the right place where we need to be, and we're moving at lightning speed, which is just brilliant. We are going to keep this train moving forward. We're going to talk a little bit about resistance, which is a very important thing. On page 47, resistance. Now, as you're creating, you are most likely to face an opposing force. An opposing force to that which you want to create. When the seed wants to turn into a tree, it must break through the earth. It must become a tree. It's going to have all sorts of opposing forces and wind and all these things to finally become a tree. Then other trees that want to get the sunlight. There is always an opposing force to what it is that you want to create. Now, the one thing that we don't want to have an opposing force of is ourselves. We don't need to have an opposing force of ourselves. So we're going to talk about resistance. But before we do, yesterday, when we were talking about structure, and I said, hey, you can take a wheelbarrow and you can restructure it into a fence. Someone said to me, but where's the wheel? And I was like, well, just jam it on the fence somewhere, and then it's a stuck structure. And it was kind of funny. And then I created a whole heap of chaos by telling everyone, hey, if you can see a fence with a wheel on it, I'll give you a session. And boy, you guys had some fun with that. But we found the first person who sent it in. I saw all sorts of funny pics, and we went and looked. We had to look between our internal membership platform, which is called Mighty, which is where all of you in the masterclass hang out. We had to look on Facebook, Instagram, and email, and we found the winner. And so the winner, here, I'll show you the picture. Here is the winner. The winner who posted it first, the fastest, is Jesse. And he posted it here in the Magnetic Mind Masterclass portal. Now, Jesse, I don't know, man. I don't want you to take offense at this, but hey, that's a gate, bro. I mean, it's a fence with a wheel, but that looks like a gate. You know, I mean, I just got told who won, but when I seen it, I thought, hey, you know, like that structure probably is stuck, but it gets a little bit of movement. And that made me laugh so much when I saw it. I was like, well, he took his wheelbarrow and turned it into a fence and then just lets it move a little bit, but it doesn't actually go anywhere. So it's still a stuck structure. But anyway, Jesse, congratulations. You are the fastest one. I think that is the Wizard's Gate. It's when you restructure. No, it's not the Wizard's Gate, but it's quite funny. It's actually a stuck structure. It doesn't really oscillate. It only allows you to move, and then it might stop. Anyway, Jesse, you win. You were the quickest, and that was the rules. And so we'll be having a one-on-one session together whenever you're ready. And that feels really, really, really good. So everyone, give a big shout out to Jesse. Well done. And stop sending us pictures with fences with wheels on them. We got enough. We can start a whole bloody Instagram page, and no one really knows what they're about. In fact, some of my team were having the day off and then went to check emails on my Instagram channel like, Chris, why are people sending you this? Why are people sending this? I'm like, look, don't worry, it's an internal joke, okay? Only the May Magnetic Mind event will have any idea about that. Jesse, you here? Well done, Jesse. I think he's here. Anyway, we'll reach out to you. We'll book that session and when you want it. So that's good. Well done. So let's talk about resistance. Andrew says, I don't have any pages after page 47. Do you see that, Roche? Adriana, sorry. Everyone else, don't take offense at it, mate. It's a gate. So funny. All right, so everyone else can get past page 47? Or can some people not? Everyone else is good. Okay. Adriana, it's just yours. Yeah, it should go right through to 75, 76. Okay, so someone on my team's going to help you out. Download it again or whatever, but also I'm going to talk you through it anyway, okay? So that's good. All right. So what is resistance? When you go for your desired reality, you step into the emotion of having it. You'll find that not all of you is 100% feeling good about taking the obliged action. Your unconscious, your identity is happy if it's a wish. But as soon as you start to take that action, you will find that there is an opposing force to that end result. One of the most reoccurring things that happens in manifestation and in our work is when someone says to me, Chris, I don't think I want that end result anymore. I'm on page 47. They're going for something, they say, I don't think I want that anymore. Or they're going for something and they have loads of energy at the beginning, and then they face a little setback, and that's it. Wasn't meant to be. Another idea. Wasn't the right thing. It's this and this and this. They create a narrative to avoid just going through and making it happen, because they take any form of feedback as a reflection on their incapability of having the end result. They take resistance to prove that that's why they shouldn't have it. They think that everything that they're supposed to create, they just say they want it, they take the action, and they think it should just turn up. It's not the game that we're here to play. There's no movie that we watch that the person just goes, oh, I'd love a happy relationship, and there it is. There is always something to overcome, and in fact, it's how we want it. We don't actually desire a life where everything just turns up without us having to actually become something to have it. Life is about overcoming the opposing force called resistance. So resistance is not a bad thing. It's just a previous creation designed to help to stop you ending up in a painful situation. So, for example, if you were 5 years old and you stood up in front of the class and you had to read, the alphabet, and everyone laughed, you may have coded up that you're not supposed to be a public speaker. So your unconscious and superconscious will design it in a way that there is resistance to that in the form of an anxiety or an emotion. It's not true. It's just what happened. And, no one at 5 years old is a good public speaker. That's just what happened. And so what happens is you'll go to try to do it and you'll face a block. That block was created by you so you don't have to feel that feeling again. The challenge is many of these resistance points were created early in your life prior to you having a conscious memory. Therefore, you have amnesia to the moment or the reason why you created that resistance. You have amnesia to it. You don't know. All you know is you have a resistance to it. Further to the point, your superconscious field is hereditary. It is passed down through your family. It might not even be yours. In order for a species to adapt and survive, it's those who create new understandings of how the world is and then pass it down to their young. Fears, emotions, abilities, traits all get passed down in a morphogenetic field that goes through the generations. I was once working with a lady. She had a huge problem keeping money. She didn't know why. I went into her field, examined it, muscle test, and I said, it's your grandmother on your mother's side. She said, oh, yeah, she doesn't have any money. I said, here's what I get. It was unsafe for her to have money. So we worked on it, we treated it, and she was able to manifest and hold on to a very significant amount of money. About 6 months later, she went back to Hungary. She was living in Perth when I talked to her. She went back to Hungary, Eastern Europe, went back there to talk, and she ended up chatting to her grandmother and said, hey, I worked with this guy, and this is what he said. And she said, well, I don't really talk about it. But prior to World War II, I actually had another husband. And we were targeted because we had lots of money. His family had lots of money. And we were targeted, and they were all killed, and it was really bad. And then I remarried your grandfather after the war and never talked to anyone about that previous marriage. Oh, I'm getting chills as I tell you. It was unsafe in the family field to have money. Whew. It was unsafe. But there's no way that the granddaughter could know that because grandmother never talked about previous family. It wasn't a thing to do. So no one, it wasn't really known. And so you can have passed down resistance. You can have passed down structures that you have no idea. You have no idea. You want to hear some really interesting stuff? My great-grandfather didn't have to go to World War I because he injured his leg and ended up staying back with a leg injury, and that's how he survived the war, and all his childhood friends went off to war and didn't come back. And then at the exact same age that he injured his leg, I injured my leg. And it saved me from going on my basketball career to the United States, which was a really interesting thing. Do you know what's even more interesting? My father was saved with leg issues as well. Sitting in the field, have a leg problem that stops you going overseas, stops you leaving. Really interesting when you start looking at where does resistance come from? Where are these and why are we fulfilling these patterns? When we talk about this even more in a program called Superconscious Transformation, you learn in depth about the patterns that people are playing out in their life that they have no way can they connect to why that's there. We have safety patterns in health, relationships. We have patterns with drugs and alcohol and so much information. Why is it that we're doing that? Why is that the path of least resistance. Why is this the path of least resistance? I had a problem with real structures that didn't manifest the way I want. Growing up, the most important thing to me was to be a professional sportsman. As I explained to you that in my book, that was the number one thing I could think about in my life. Every day I would play basketball, I'd play sports in the goal of playing professional sports. My father was enrolled in this, and every day we would shoot hoops, 1,000 shots before school, because basketball was where I decided that I would become successful at. And I became reasonably successful. Made it into the New Zealand team, got a scholarship to go to the United States to play basketball, which, by the way, is unheard of from New Zealand. That was incredibly difficult, especially in the late 90s, to get that. Got it. And what happened was I didn't follow through. I stopped playing. I didn't follow through. Snapped my leg. Didn't go. Then I started out on a different journey. I ended up with a male mentor. His name was Phil Smart, and he showed me how to start my first business. Became very successful. When it was the time to truly become successful, didn't follow through. Got a new mentor. Name was Paul Davis. Paul Davis, significantly older than me, male. I became his #1 star again. He taught me NLP. I went around Australia teaching people NLP, everything else. Just when I was about to take center stage, it all blew up. This happened again with Mark Deason. It was a longer structure. He ended up right when I'm doing the movie, right when I'm about to go big. I get in the movie with Tony Robbins, the Dalai Lama, everything else. I'm the star. Get in this movie. Right as I do the movie, 2 weeks before filming, he dies. Every time, right when I'm about to get the success I work for, there's a collapse of the structure, and I kept on doing it. Right before Deese died, we ended up entering a relationship with another business partner. His name was Joe, lived in Nevada. He was how I was able to stay in the United States. Within a year of Deese dying, that relationship had completely destructed, fallen apart, and again, it went bang. Then I got a relationship with another male in his late 40s, and I was a star. His name was Alex. 3 months, we made over $1 million together, and then he took me for about $750,000. Bang again. And I sat there and I realized I kept doing the same thing. Every single one of every single one of the males was the exact same age that my father was when I started the real focus on basketball, or when it ended. I never thought about it. It was just obvious to me that I should have a business partner. And I kept on doing it, and it kept on going until I sat in the United Kingdom in London, in Brighton, with my wife, and I'm about to start a business relationship with a great guy, still good friends, and his name is Mark. And I realized, same age, same structure, same everything. I was going to be the star. He was going to support me. And I just looked at it, I went, when am I going to learn? I keep doing the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. And I stopped it. I collapsed the structure. There was something sitting in my field that wouldn't allow me to do it on my own. There was an unconscious resistance, like a boulder, that every time I went for something, it diverted, that I had to do it with a male at a certain age, because that decision was made in my early childhood. And the decision would play out every time, and it would crumble. And it got shorter and shorter and shorter, and more and more and more painful. You are living in structures because of resistance. There's a truth of where you should be going and how, not should, There's a truth of the fastest and obvious action to create what you want to create. Yet, if you are in a loop, there is an unconscious resistance in the way. This resistance was put there by you to stop ending in a situation you previously thought was dangerous or unsafe. When I examined myself, I thought it was dangerous or unsafe to do it on my own. This is because the number one job of the unconscious is to ensure you and your body survive. So what is the best place for you and your body to examine, to know how to survive? It's your past. It's the past. And it's also what has been passed down to you. Because how does an organism know what is safe, what is passed down, and what it's already survived? Now, if any of these things happen pre-verbal, so before the age of 4, you'll likely have amnesia completely to it. You don't know why you can't hold on to money or why you keep doing that. You don't know why. All you know is that you keep doing it. This safety mechanism will start to hinder you in life because the unconscious decides that anything that is new is not safe. It decides it is not safe because it is unproven. It is unproven in you or your family's line to be survivable. If it is unproven, it is more risky than things you have already survived as an organism. Give me a yes if you get why it's risky. If you've already survived it, your brain goes, we know how to survive this battle. We're still here. Anything you or your family going up, not sideways to your siblings, going back through your parents, anything that you're like the arrow's head on the front of this line of understanding. Anything that's been survived is known. It's safer than anything that you haven't survived. If you haven't survived riches or abundance or success or fame, then your brain goes, that's riskier. This has been survived. Let's stay here. You're at the forefront. You're the arrow's head of all that understanding. Does this make sense? Good. The truth is that just because it's new doesn't make it unsafe. In fact, the current condition actually may be more safe. What you're going for might be more safe. However, even in spite of the logic, the unconscious wants to keep everything the same it has always been. Therefore, whenever you're creating something new, underline this, whenever you're creating something new, which means not experienced by you or your family before, there will be a battle. Whenever you're creating something new, not experienced by you or your family, there will be a battle. This battle is between what you want to create and what your unconscious thinks is safe. What this battle is your resistance creating beliefs, thoughts, identities, emotions, or other aspects to stop you going to things that are deemed unsafe. This is why the recode is so valuable. Once you're in the right structure and you're creating and you're moving towards it, you need a process of letting go of old decisions. Many of the challenges that other processes have is they waste time trying to figure out exactly where and when and why the resistance is there. We don't need to know why the resistance is there, who gave it to you, how it turned up, or whose fault it was. All we need to know is I want to achieve that, and this is in the way. Because even if we go and muscle test and figure out the Akashic records and where it came from and which generation, what family and how it is and what moment, all these things, all that we end up coming back to is that I've got resistance to achieving that. So let's not waste the time, doing an archaeological dig, trying to figure out why, and talking about it for 25 years, and going to therapy and expressing about it all, trying to have, this whole mental masturbation of all the different things that could be. And let's just say this is what it is. There can be some really bad stuff that's happened to you, but you're bigger than it now. There can be terrible things. You do not have to keep dragging it with you into the future. It can be terrible. With the recode, you can simply choose to be bigger than it, let it go. There's no reason why it happened. Many people want to find a positive benefit of things. Sometimes there's just no positive benefit. So you can waste time trying to find a positive benefit in all these things, or you can just choose to be bigger than it, accept that it happened, accept that it was terrible, whatever it is, and you can choose to recode it because you're bigger than it. Or you can try to figure it out, waste a whole heap of time, and you will probably figure it out, but how many years or decades go by as you're trying to understand why and when and what and who and all these things, instead of just getting on with what you're creating. Who agrees with that? Who agrees with that? This is what I want to create. This is the feeling that's stopping me. Great, let's recode that and let's get on with life. This is what I want to create, a happy relationship, but I really feel like I don't trust men. And, I feel this and I feel these things. Instead of turning around and trying to figure out, well, what happened to, what happened? We go, well, that's what it is. We're bigger than it, though. Let's recode it and get on with it. Hey, let's not waste our precious moments trying to have a happy childhood. I once had this trainer who said to me, he said, Chris, it's never too late to have a happy childhood. And I remember sitting there going, well, factually, it actually is. Like, if we look at the facts, it's done. Unless you've invented time travel, it's done. What he was trying to say is that it's never too late to let go of the pain that happened in childhood. And I agree with that. But what I don't agree is this idea that we can go back and try to fix the past or anything else. So can we all agree right now? The past is done. It's happened. Some of it was your creation. Some of it was other people's creation. Some parts of it, you were not an adult and you were a child and you were vulnerable, and there were other people that their creations didn't work for you. Lots of stuff has happened. But right now, you are more powerful than any of it. You are bigger than all of it. And if you choose to carry it with you, that's your choice. And if you choose to focus on what you're creating, go for it and let go of that other stuff, then you're going to create that as well. If you're a betting person, you understand just because something has happened to you in the past has no extra statistical advantage that will happen to you again in the future unless you keep living out of that same paradigm. You let it go, then you have the same chance as everyone else. Everyone happy with this? We choose what we want to create. We step into it. We create structural tension. We notice the resistance that we put there from a past or passed down to it, and we're going to let it go. We're going to let it go. We're going to recode it, change the coding. We know what happened. We're not going to do anything about forgiving other people who did bad stuff, or try to mentally figure out why it happened or where it happened or any of that. We're not going to worry about that because it's going to take our precious moments from our life. We're simply going to say it happened. I wouldn't want it to happen again, but I'm not going to let it poison my future. You know, I'm not going to end my life and on my gravestone it says, started a property portfolio in 2007, never did anything again. You know, had a relationship and got cheated on, stayed single for 90 more years. Right? Had a crazy psychotic father, never let it go, lived unhappy ever after. True? That's not going to be our thing. It was going to say, had crazy psychotic father, let him have his own creation, got on with life, happily ever after. Makes sense? Started a property business in 2007, bad choice, got over it, started a new business, lived happily ever after. Right? True? Had a relationship, was betrayed and cheated on, got over it, found the love of her life, had a great life. Right? That's what we're going to do. You just need the tools to say, you know what? Bad stuff can happen, but let's go for it. Let's let it go. You are more powerful. Who agrees with that? You are powerful. You're not broken. And let's keep moving. So I'm on page 48. I'm on page 48. And remember, I told you at the beginning, you don't have to agree with everything that I say. I'm just going to share what's been very useful and true for me. Very useful and very true. You can use the superconscious to treat and change any resistance you have to an end result you would like to manifest. We do this by using this recode process. When we're using the creative structure, we trigger resistance into the active experience through structural tension. As soon as you say, I'm going to go for this, and you start going for it, as you go for it, you'll notice that things are in the way. And you'll feel, I'm not that, I'm not good enough, I'm not this. So it triggers it. It pushes the resistance for you to become aware of it. Meaning, even if you have amnesia to it, by using the first three steps, you say, I want this, I'm here, and I'm going to feel it. It pushes the resistance into your experience. So you do not have to go searching with what's wrong with you. Does everyone understand that? When you say, I want to create a successful business, and I feel it, I love it, and I start, that's when you see it. So you never have to sit there trying to guess what you might need to fix about you. It's actually big. I'm going to let that sit. It's actually a very big point. When you step into the end result and you choose what you're going for, you will trigger the resistance to show itself. Feelings, thoughts, emotions, identities will pop as soon as you go for what you want. Does that make sense? So you don't have to try to guess what's in the way. It will be there. If you're in the act of creating what you love, the opposing force will just turn up. And that's the only thing that's in the way. You don't have to worry about everything else. So as we're creating, this is why it's not fixing yourself, it's creating. Because as you start creating, what shows up is what is in the way. And then we recode that and we keep creating. If stuff shows up, we get out of the way, we keep creating. It's very different to us all sitting here going, okay, what are all the things that are in the way of my life? It's a completely different paradigm. And this is written on this page. The recode works by changing all the instructions causing the resistance. I'm reading from page 48. This allows a different action to be taken. A good way to explain this is to think about an end result you have not been able to manifest. Imagine it at the end of a road. Because of past actions, the road is in disrepair and cannot be driven on. You notice potholes and they stop you being able to move forward. So what needs to happen? You need to fix the road. Luckily, because you created all the potholes, because your superconscious created all the potholes, you can easily fix or change them. And as soon as you do, easily and effortlessly, you can move towards what you desire. Put a different way, your superconscious will remember how those potholes came into existence, and in the perfect way, in the perfect order, will fill them in and smooth them over, allowing you to move easily to your end result. How much you acknowledge and change resistance is up to you. The process is about creating results you desire, not being perfect. However, if that old pattern is in the way of what you desire, I suggest getting new information. The old information was valid, but is not useful anymore. You can be amazing with a sword, but it is useless in a gunfight. The yellow pages may have helped you find a dentist in the past, but now you can just go online and search for one. It doesn't matter how useful the original was. The question is, will it help you in the future? I think of resistance like a vampire, sucking the life out of what we want to create. As soon as we shine some light on it, open the curtain, it is vanquished and evaporates into nothingness. With the superconscious recode, you can recode any resistance in your identity to having what you desire. You can let it go. You can be it so you can see it. You don't need to change your whole self, fix the past, or try to be perfect. You simply need to focus on what you desire and then notice what's in the way. Once you determine what is in the way, you can connect to your superconscious and change the coding. I'd like to say the process is like having a river of desire. At the end of the river is a land of plenty with everything you would love to see manifest. And you are in the current reality, in the current of the river flowing to that end result. As you're moving towards what you desire, some boulders have been placed and stop the flow of the river. It's like a dam. Dam that dam. It makes it impossible for you to flow to your land of plenty. These boulders can be easily removed by remembering when they were useful in the past and choosing to smooth them over, roll them away so the new flow can happen. This process is very easy and gentle, and there is no need to rush it. You will experience profound shifts in your life because you're able to flow to your end results. Occasionally, the resistance is too much to move in one session. There is too much of the identity caught up in it. It's like there's a huge boulder the size of a car in the way of the end result. Instead of trying to remove it in one go, we simply ask your superconscious to recode a small part, just to chisel a little part out, and over multiple sessions, we'll recode it one small part at a time until the big boulder is gone. There is no need to rush. You know a recode has worked when what was stopping you from moving towards your end result is no longer a problem. You will know a recode has worked when what was stopping you is no longer a problem. We are not sitting still asking what is wrong with us. We're in the flow of creation, removing what's in the way that has been placed anciently or in our own lifetime in the way. In this process, you get to be a creator and you get to have it all and be in love with creating more things you love. This is the reason why we're on the planet, to experience our creative energy and to witness ourselves creating. You are always creating, and this is the way it has always been. So, it's time to do the recode. We'll have a short break. When we come back, we're going to do the recode. I'll be working one-on-one with one person, and then we'll be doing a group recode together. So I hope you're all excited about that. It's 1:30 for me. We will give this a good 15-minute break so that everyone's ready. It's been a good session so far. We've been going 2.5 hours, so it's a good 15 minutes, okay? In that 15 minutes, good time to, feed your cat, make sure that the kids are, being kids, doing what they need to be doing. Get yourself a snack, water, be ready to come back and sit down refreshed because we're going to be going into some deep work now. You're doing great. I'm loving the energy. Maybe grab a coffee if it's 2 a.m. because you're in the UK and you're just an amazing maniac on a mission. We love you. Please remember, write down your few top takeaways. I've still got some things coming to you for you guys to post some reviews. Actually, I'll give you a heads up. We are going to be drawing winners for people who post on social media or send in via email reviews of the book and reviews of this work. So what we're going to be giving you away is merchandise. So we have Superconscious Creator hoodies, t-shirts, hats, all sorts of cool stuff. And you also get to just give some gratitude back to us and the team and share what you've really loved. So 1 point for a post or an email, 2 points for an Amazon review from a verified book purchase, and 3 points for a video. We're going to be, after the event next week, we're going to be looking at all the posts and we're going to be giving away a whole heap of different merch. Anyway, so if you do that, just make sure you tag me or make us know of your post. 15-minute break. See you at 45 past the hour or 15 minutes from now. Hey, YouTube. We're going to be doing some one-on-one stuff and some group stuff, so you're best to move over to Zoom or Facebook. So I'll give you the link now, and then I'm going to close down this stream for a while because you're not going to be able to see what's happening. Is that okay? So I'm going to be doing a one-on-one session now with one of the people on Zoom. I can't do it with YouTube people. So is that cool? So I've just put the Zoom link in there, and then there's also in this chat there's a Facebook link where you'll also be able to be involved in it. But it's just we can't do this part with YouTube. Okay. Thanks, Teresa. I see you saying okay. So I know that you guys can at least hear me. So I'll close this in a couple minutes, all right? And then we will open it back up when it's useful to stream on YouTube again. It's just not useful because you can't see what's happening. Okay.